Folks, welcome back. My name is Rudy. You're watching Alpha Investments. Today's for another video of a major acquisition here of a buyout. This time today, known as Martyr's Cry. So, 1994, The Dark. This card is this on like the sensitivity ban list from the 2020 culture thing? It may be. So, what is this? It's a reserve list card from the 94 set from The Dark. It is a 2-drop. It is essentially, it's a spell. All white creatures are removed from the game. Players must draw a card for each white creature they control that is lost and removed from the game. So, a little interesting card draw board wipe kind of combination here. So there's a lot to go over in the history of this particular card. Sit back, relax. Again, these were not acquired from the open market. This was a massive purchase from investors that aren't investing. I mean, we're talking massive, folks. No. It keeps going. It's massive. Out of all the ones, metal worker buyouts, other ones and everything, this one is, we're still going. It's massive, absolutely massive on the quantity of this particular card. So, first, we'll stop for a moment. Let me go over some important things of what's going on. I'm going to explain to you all some sensitive things in this video about what I've been doing in deploying of capital and how I'm navigating this market and what I see everybody else doing. So this is going to be you're not going to see much movement and talking. I just want to show you all the acquisition here. Now I want to talk to you about the Rudy's mindset, the collectors and investors mindset in a post-Magic 30 world with everything going on with Pokemon, Flesh and Blood. We got the new sorcery thing. We got MetaZoo doing pretty good. And we got White Stabilized. You got everything. I want to give you the Rudy perspective. Okay? First of all, this card, pre-2020, was around a $5 card. Okay? After the craziness to the moon and tendies and all these people who jumped in the market, who had no clue what they were doing, this particular card, and no, not all these are gem minty and pretty. This one, you can see they're played. This particular card hit a high in 2021 of almost $30 a card. You can pause the video. MTG stocks, type in Martyr's Cry, and you will see an insane chart. So there are people out there. Now, I don't know how many people bought at the top. Let's just say the average person paid, even not at the top. Maybe they paid 20, 30% below the top. Let's say at that time people were paying $20 to $25 a card for this. In mid-2023, now that we've exited the boom and bust and the bubble has popped on that kind of thing and all the goofiness and short-term speculators and people who had no business being in the CCG market, the vintage Magic market, anything. Now that we're through that, I have moved in and I've acquired all these cards, and the price of this card, in my opinion, is back down to that $5 to $10 price range. So when I see an opportunity to go back and build a position and buy out another evil investor for the same price as the card was in 2018, 2019. So let me understand this straight. Card went crazy, went to a bubble price of 30, real price is probably 15 to 20 range, and this thing collapses all the way down to a couple dollars. Let's just say $5. That is how you build long-term positions. Those are the things that excite me because I'm able to build a massive position in this card, as you've seen with many other buyouts on this channel over the years. Again, this is just me buying out an investor. This wasn't even a single purchase on the open market, and it is what it is. So that is my perspective. Now let me discuss something with you all too. So for those of you who watch these videos and don't understand what he's doing, you have to keep a few things in mind. And that is, I have an obsession with these original old 93, 94, early 90s Magic era products. So it's most likely an unhealthy obsession. And it's most likely not always the best financial obsession to have. But if I'm going to have a sin or a vice in this world, I'm okay with this being what it is. It makes me happy. It gives me some weird addiction-fulfilling thing, whatever you want to call it. Now, those of you watching this, well, gee, if Rudy's doing it, maybe I should go out and buy a ton of these things. Now, once again, if you can buy a bunch of this card or something, and you're paying under $10 a card, that's probably a fair price. Because, and again, the conditions of these things swing massively. You can buy a damaged, wet, moldy card for probably a couple bucks. You can buy a gem minty for 10, 15. And of course, old cards, conditions swings the pricing in the needle pretty quickly. But you must go into these markets like we've talked about with the mindset that they're not going to do anything. We are now in July of actually halfway through July of 2023. That's halfway through the year. And the vintage market still shows no signs of major upticks in bull markets. Now, it's not crashing and burning, but we are nowhere near pre-Magic 30, pre-2022 crash levels. Nowhere near, folks. In my opinion, some cards are holding up better, maybe only down 10-20% from their all-time high, but the average vintage card is probably down between 30 and 60% from the all-time high on average. And again, you're always going to have outliers that are better and worse, but overall, a third price decline from the all-time high is pretty, I'd say that's kind of where it is. It is what it is. And every card and every example is going to be able to make that look better or worse depending on your narrative. Now, I don't think we are anywhere near the cusp of money being made on these cards. I purchased this card because I thought it'd be awesome to have a position in what I consider a very unique card that there is no way on God's green earth and Wizards of the Coast will ever reprint artwork like this in a card like this. I mean, even though it's reserve list, let's pretend it wasn't reserve list. There is no way they will ever touch something like this. That artwork with this kind of, say religious connotations or religious connotation or kind of some crosses there in the background, the windows, and kind of these priest-looking thing and targeting white creatures. I don't see modern culture messing with stuff like this. So that makes this a very unique long-term hold for someone like me on a strictly kind of business approach. Now, as far as what I've been looking at, I continue to expand and buy collections and accumulate, even though the amount of selling is still it's rough. It's definitely on the scary side, folks. The market remains very weak in old Magic, sealed Magic, vintage and old, new and old. The new era of Pokemon with Scarlet Violet base, and even PP, Paldea, Dr. P evolved, and it remains in a bear market for the new Pokemon block. But I do believe, and I maintain the long-term perspective, that these things go through cycles. And this is the time when everybody is negative and bearish, that these are the eras that tremendous opportunity. This is the most exciting time for an accumulator, a hoarder, an investor, a collector, a player who wants certain things to build certain decks. This is the most exciting time because there are very rare opportunities in life that you can get involved in an asset class, a collectible, an item, and you can across the board get good prices and opportunities if you're patient and you want to build positions and you enjoy the product. This is one of those times. I continue to build positions in old Magic, in old sealed boxes, new sealed boxes when I can, and of course even the new Pokemon block. There's been a lot of business things behind the scenes with going after this new Pokemon stuff from stores that are stuck with new Scarlet Violet and Dr. P evolves and these things. I feel there's tremendous opportunity. Not only that, I've still been buying Flesh and Blood cold foils, vintage Flesh and Blood sealed boxes, and even had a couple transactions that included some actually first edition MetaZoo and Kickstarter sealed MetaZoo. And I was excited to add a couple boxes of that because I used most of my Kickstarter MetaZoo. And when I did the 6.9 kits, I seeded, I think it was 20% of the kits had sealed Kickstarter booster packs. So I ended up using almost all of my sealed Kickstarter booster boxes and when they were distributed in the 6.9 anniversary from, God, was it a year already? Was it a year? Has it really been that long? Jeez. In addition to that, something that has not been discussed on this channel, I've been deploying a lot of money into Legos, or Lego brand, and also actual oil paintings. And when I say oil paintings and artwork, you may have noticed some in some videos and special spoiler videos with some fancy ornate traditional gold frames. I'm talking not modern art. I mean, I've been accumulating, expanding tremendous positions in 18th century, 19th century, a lot of French, German, Italian paintings, interiors, Pitti Palace, a lot of royalty, a lot of old school artwork in that sector. I've been deploying a lot of money and expanding and diversifying in that. I just haven't really talked about it on the channel or anything like that. So the categories I have not been touching would be real estate, because of the high interest rates, and I'm very nervous about the state of real estate right now. So I have not been adding or deploying or making any major changes in real estate right now. Actually, in crypto, again, I never go out and buy a bunch of crypto. I never had in the past. I never plan to, but I do still hold a tremendous amount of crypto, and almost all my crypto is in, obviously, Bitcoin, Ethereum. Then I've got a couple of the other little small top 10 coins that patrons have sent me that, and like I've discussed with you all in the past, I don't target cryptos and small coins and altcoins, all these. I don't really do that. But some of the top 10, 20 coins I do accept. And then when patrons pay me in those, I kind of end up holding the coins and moving them to a secure wallet, or, I even keep some of them on my Coinbase, little high security Coinbase, and my Coinbase account doesn't even allow outgoing transactions for security. You have to whitelist an address, wait a week, verify with me, and so we have a pretty high security for the business Coinbase account there. That's been pretty successful and done very well for the last couple of years. So I've been that's kind of my mindset right now. And of course, corporate debt and corporate bonds, what I used to in the past. I've been really revisiting that with the higher interest rates now for the first time, because it's been very attractive to do that. So back to the beginning of this video before we end it. Transactions like this still get me pretty excited. And I know we're not talking this transaction, we're still not talking, this is not millions of dollars. Hell, this isn't even like $10,000, $20,000 type of thing. These are cheap cards, okay? These are not high dollar cards or anything like that. But this is a great item because you don't know what the future holds. In being able to buy into certain positions or certain cards, and being able to actually have what I call a fair or really attractive cost basis, because I'm trying to explain to you all this feeling that everybody has with how bad the vintage market is, post Magic 30, the Mark Bottom Water, the Fireside Chat, all these things. Don't forget the $1,000 Magic 30 ball sack thing. I mean, so many things happened. I still picture Cynthia Philip Morris Williams reading Wikipedia to me like a bedtime story. I feel like she's telling me goodnight. But it's going to take a long time. And I keep telling everyone, oh, Rudy, we're almost out of the vintage bear market in Magic. And just remember, folks, the markets can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. Markets can stay irrational longer than the brain wants to accept. A bear market, look at the stock market last year. We had an 18-month bear market. Crypto, 2-year bear market. I mean, for Magic, 2022 was brutal. And then we ended 2022 with the cream of the crop disaster of Magic 30s and all the disaster that happened. And now we're halfway through 2023, so we're approaching 2 years now. Actually, technically over 2 years, depending where you want to count the starting point. The peak of the market was May of 2021, when the crypto peak and the flesh and blood before that original bubble, and then of course when the peak of the stock market and the tech and all the SPACs and all the non-profitable garbage companies that went public, the peak was technically May of 21. So if you want me to be real technical with you all, we are approaching 2.5 years of negative to flat bear market for vintage single Magic cards, vintage sealed boxes of Magic, hell, new sealed boxes of Magic. So overall, I know a lot of people are saying, well, Rudy, the average bear market lasts 6 months to a year, maybe 1.5 to 2 years. We're past that. Vintage Magic is overdue. It's going to come back. And I understand that. I hear your opinion. I agree with those opinions. But I also understand the market we're in right now is not ready for that. I see zero reasons that we enter a bull market on vintage Magic cards or reserve list. There is nothing fucking nothing in place that's going to make these, like this Martyr's Cry purchase I did, with let's say the cost basis is around that $5 range, depending on the condition, a little lower, a little higher. But this card's not going to be a $30 card anytime soon. There's nothing I can do to pump this video. Oh, everybody needs to buy out this card so Rudy makes... No. This card is not going to appreciate anytime soon. Let me word it another way. What you see on your screen right now are magic cards that are not going to go up in value. And that's the difference between people who want to show you all kinds of silliness. I'm going to tell you how it is. Even on cards I love like this, they're just not going to go up. It just is what it is. I would wish I could sit here and tell you all, oh, guys, you got to get in with me. This is going to make up. No. Let's be straightforward with this stuff. 3,000 YouTube videos, almost 8 years in YouTube. There's a reason I'm still around on YouTube. A lot of people don't make it long term. They end up with scandals and fall apart. And no. This is where it is. Now, there will be a day when the market turns. But unfortunately, the day is nowhere near right now. And it could be, and I know you're not going to want to hear this before I cut the video off. We could be looking at another 1, 2, even 3 to 5 years before vintage magic and the reserve list does something again. It could be devastatingly long. Okay? And I know, I don't want to say it. You don't want to hear it. But someone's got to do it. And that's, unfortunately, how I really feel about these cards. Now, if you're young, under the age of 99, okay, fine. Under the age of 69, and you're in good health, you've got a good stable footing in life, you're parking money in your house, your 401ks, your investments, you're diversifying, you got your inflatable blow-up vibrating collection going, and maybe you want to diversify with collectibles that are, crypto and rental houses and stamps and comic books and I don't know, whatever you want to do. And maybe, you enjoy this. And if you enjoy it, that's a whole different conversation. But anyone in this market now who's left after a 2-year bear market of losing money, the people, those of you watching, and you'll know. Look at the views on this video. Now, 2 years ago, if I had made this exact video, this video would be 50 to 100,000 views. Because of the hype, everybody's staying home, you can't leave the house, the virus and the drama, That was 2 years ago. Hell, 3 years ago. God, late time flies. But I'm here to tell you all, those of you listening right now, 17 minutes in on a video like this, you probably have the passion for this kind of stuff, and you're actually willing to do your own critical thinking, analyze things. And those of you listening still this long in a video like this, you're probably going to be more successful long term because you're willing to listen and think about things and try to figure out the market and move the chess pieces on the board, and you're willing to try to come up with ideas. And we live in a time, that's not what most people do. Most people just want to sit down in a chair. They want to swipe on their phone and see some chicks jumping around and jiggling their goodies. And yeah, I know. We all look at it. That's the reason they do it. That's why they all have millions upon millions upon millions of views. And yeah, it's great. It's eye candy. It makes you feel good. It gives you that dopamine release. But, you have to focus on the longer term, what's going on, the attention to detail. And, there is still opportunity in this stuff, folks. It's going to take time. It's not going to be easy. But I do think long term the market will turn in this, but it's going to be longer than we all expect. And that is the absolute nasty reality of vintage Magic post Magic 30. I do not believe Wizards is going to do another Magic 30 or Magic 35 or redo Arabian Nights next. And I could be wrong. Hell, I never thought they'd do Magic 30, so I got that wrong. But in my opinion, based on what happened, I don't think they ever do it again. Especially now that they have their big achievement unlocked. And they've unlocked the achievement of Lord of the Rings and how to really, really make big money and success and get free publicity, Wall Street Journal, CNBC, Fox, CNN, YouTube, Lord of the Rings, and that kind of hype and that kind of branding and that kind of serialization. That's where Wizards' future is going. And whether we agree with it or not, that is the direction they're going. The Magic 30 and what you're seeing on your screen now is not the future of modern Magic. And I don't think they ever mess with it again because it blew up in their face. Their stock tanked. It didn't go well. They didn't make money. And why would you gamble and risk your whole company again when you could just do more Lord of the Ring directions and just make insane profits without the risk? So that is definitely going to be the future. So thanks for listening to me ramble, everybody. Hope you're all having a beautiful day out there. It is a beautiful world, and most people are amazing people. Like I said, just make sure you're cautious of what you put in your life, you surround yourself with, and remember that. Surround yourself with good people. Don't watch drama, negative YouTube videos, and all this. That kind of stuff brings you down. It puts baggage and weight in your brain. It doesn't allow you to focus and really do good critical thinking to help you move forward. Opportunities and positive and things come along when you surround yourself with good people, you think about things, you make good choices, things will work out. And that is always the healthiest, best way to approach life. And you'd be surprised where it can lead you. But it takes time and patience. If it's too good to be true, quick, get rich quick, flip this, flip that. It's a long path. The flippers, yeah, they can get some right and some wrong, but the real wealth is always made long term from the people who play the game. They play the chessboard for the long game so that they can win and really kind of have everything in place. So have a beautiful day, everybody. Thanks for watching.